Hi.
Good morning.
I'm Joanne from Magpies Cottage.
I'm Amy.
We just recorded a whole intro, like 10 minutes, and the camera wasn't moving, and then it blacked out, and so we're starting again.
Okay, we hope it's as good as the first one.
Yeah.
'Cause we kind of liked the first one.
Yeah,
but-
we had fun talking about our adventures.
Oh, well, what did we start with?
It's been a while since we podcast,
This is true. I was in California.
and I was at a quilt retreat,
Yes. So,
and I got a quilt done. By Saturday night, I had this quilt top done when I was at my retreat.
it just amazes me how fast she can sew these things.
Yep,
It just does.
I started from absolute scratch. I pulled the fabrics from my stash at home, came here, got 4 more fat quarters, and then headed off Friday morning, like between 10 and 11, Friday morning, down to the retreat center. And then, yeah, by Saturday night, I had that done.
Amazing. Just amazing. So, I can sew when I put my mind to it. But something like that, I don't know, just blows me away. It just escapes my mind, you know? So it's gorgeous. You should come in and see it because it is really pretty. And I love the blues and the purples in it and all that. So
Yeah.
at any rate, yes. So a day and a half. See, and when I sew, I never cut and sew on the same day.
Oh, okay.
I just can't stand cutting. So I get that stress of cutting, and then I put that behind me, and then I sew the next day.
Oh, no, I kind of did it as I went. I think there's 14 blues and purples in there. So I cut 1 strip of each color, and then I put together as many blocks as I could get out of that.
Okay.
And then I'd cut 1 strip of each color again and do that. And I only had to cut 1 strip of each color 3 times, and it finished the quilt. So that's not really a lot of cutting.
But you know, I bet you that cutting's a whole lot easier because you're using a ruler, and you're using a rotary.
Yeah.
And you've got a big cutting mat out there, I'm assuming, and you
Right.
can line it up and it stays straight.
Yeah.
When I'm thinking about when I'm sewing, I'm usually sewing a garment, you know, like Halloween costume or something like
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
And, you know, you can't really use a rotary on
No,
that
no.
because you're doing too many curves.
Yeah.
I mean, there might be somebody out there that can do it, but
Yeah.
I'm just not that good. I have a rotary, and I can do it I use it for straight things,
Yeah.
but I don't. That's probably why I've never sewn anything that has that many straight lines in it.
Oh, okay.
You know, when you think of garment, they don't have straight lines.
Right. Yeah.
So.
You know what I want to try? I've seen advertised is people don't pin their patterns to their fabric anymore. They put little weights on it.
I've done that.
Have you? I haven't tried that yet. I was like, that must be a great time saver.
It is and it isn't, because what do you do when it shifts?
Oh.
And you know, you've got to have a lot of weights on there. I wouldn't do it on a big piece, but I could see doing it on, and I wouldn't do it on a really small piece, like a facing, you know, like a neck facing or something like that.
Yeah.
I wouldn't do it there, but I have done it on things that are relatively rectangular.
Okay.
And, you know, and I didn't use fancy weights. I just used a book or something,
Oh, okay.
you know, and it works. It works.
Uh-huh.
You know, but I'm not sewing fancy garments. You know who we should ask? We should ask Joyce.
Okay.
Joyce sews quite a bit. She's
Oh, yeah?
quite, you know, and she makes garments and beautiful suits, I guess. And,
Oh,
you know,
okay.
yeah. Oh, Joyce, yeah. Real into that. She was
Okay.
kind of talking about it Thursday night. You must have missed it.
Oh, yeah, I probably did. 'Cause
Yeah,
I was
yeah.
up and down a lot.
But, yeah, so I kind of want to pick her brain about that a little bit today when I see her.
Okay.
So,
Okay.
all right.
So how was your trip to California?
It was wonderful. I
Good.
did. I had a good time. It was just a weekend. Going out to see Derek is always good. Seeing Ashley is wonderful. And meeting her family. They are just wonderful people. And I now know where she gets all her kindness from.
Okay.
And so that was a really neat thing. We didn't do a lot of like sightseeing things. We just went and hit some tap rooms. And we went to an antique mall because that was our girl time. That's one of the things I love about Ashley. Whenever we get together with them, either whether they're here or, we go out there, it doesn't matter. We plan girl time.
That's nice.
You know, and
That's really
so
nice.
that's just for her to recognize that is so valuable to me is just huge. Yeah, you know, when you have sons and you get older, unless you got sisters that going out and doing stuff with the girls, there ain't nobody to go out and do stuff with the girls with, you know? And maybe that's why my girls, you know, the girl time with knitting on Thursday nights is so important to me.
Okay.
I mean,
maybe.
it you know, whatever. So, yeah, we found some really cool things at the antique mall. She's a collector of vintage Halloween things, which are really kind of cool. And she did a little educating me on that, too. Back in the, like, 1920s, early on, Halloween was never, ever a kid holiday.
Oh, okay.
It was only adults. And the images were creepy, scary Halloween things. And not at all fun trick-or-treaty things. And no cute Casper the Ghosts in it. It was mean stuff, scary.
Oh.
And they would have adult parties. And, you know, adult parties, like there was some vintage noisemakers. Like, you know, you'd have on New Year's Eve, those kind of cranky things.
Yeah.
Those and some of the images, the faces and the characters on these things were creepy, scary.
Oh.
And then the other thing that she collects are these little bottles. Now, she loves owls, but I don't know if the owl love has something to do with this. There was a drugstore chain in, I know there was one in Sacramento, because that she told me, and then in Sacramento, and they had these little medicine bottles. They're about, this big on up to this big, whatever elixir for whatever ails you kind of went in them. And these medicine bottles were all manufactured with an owl on them with the store name, Owl Drug. Much like around here, we had like springtime soda or some other, you know, soda products. I know people collect these old bottles here. Well, for her, it's these little medicine bottles. So that was really cool. So we walked around this antique mall and had a blast.
Good.
And then we did some tasting rooms because out there, you're right in the middle of the wine country in you know, Napa, Sonoma Valley. But there's so many tasting rooms for beer. And my son and husband both like beer. I mean, I will taste it. I don't care for it. But it's okay. I'll taste one here and there. And we tasted one. It was chocolate chip mint stout. It was so dark.
That sounds weird.
Yeah. So it's this dark, you know, almost thick beer, you know, like chew your beer kind of beer. I know this is going to drip, I swear it. Anyways, and it had chocolate chip mint flavoring in it. It was really kind of interesting. Good? Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, it was sweet. And there are some, you know, like, just like with wines, there's before dinner wines, during dinner wines, and after dinner wines that, you know. And with beer, there are beers you would pair with different foods. And then, of course, there's generic beer that you drink anytime. That would be like your ambers or your ales. And then, you know, there are more sweeter beers that would be for like an after dinner, a dessert beer. I've had chocolate beer.
Wow, I never tried that.
Yeah. It's different. It's really different, you know. Like I said, I'm not a huge fan. You're never going to see me, you know, walking into the lodge asking for an IPA. That ain't going to happen. Okay. All right. But I will taste beer just for the fun of it with them.
Yeah. I kind of like those hard ciders, you know, like the pear hard cider and apple hard cider.
Well, and that's one of the things that's made in some of these microbrews too. They make those as well.
Okay.
Yeah. But the one of them that this is their favorite one that they go to, it's a father and son-in-law partnership, and they. I can't think of the name. It's their favorite place. Now it's going to bug me, you know, what the name of this place is. It'll pop into my head 20 minutes from now. Anyways, they will name a beer for their patrons.
Oh.
Yeah. And like if you have a milestone event in your life and you're one of their customers, they have new beers like every couple of weeks, maybe monthly. I don't really know. But they will name a beer. And the thing is, they named a beer for Derek. And when he quit smoking.
Oh.
And so
fun.
he said so we have some at home. We drank it, Ron and I had to drink this one. It wouldn't have been one that I would have drank, but I had to drink that one, so I did. And I think Ryan and Kevin had some too. And they had a name for it, and they named his beer to commemorate. And so we've still got the can.
Okay.
And you know, we saved that.
So is the name of it Derek?
No.
Oh.
They had a name. It's going to bug me. But it had something to do with quitting smoking.
Okay.
You know? But and so he knew it was for him. And then on their board, they like all these tasting rooms, they have like a chalkboard, and you know, and they write on what the beer is, what its alcohol percentages are, some of the ingredients, what it's made from, and then in this case, they also had four. And the name of the customer, the people, and there was a couple. There was one that was named for the mint chocolate chip was named for actually one of the guy's kids.
Okay.
You know, so it would be like the grandson, if you will. And it was, and because they asked him for his birthday what kind of beer they should make.
Oh.
And
okay.
he said a chocolate chip mint one, and that's where that one came from. And so that's why they said, and it was, you know, for that kid. And then there was another one up there that was for a couple that came there a lot for their wedding. They made a special brew for their wedding.
Wow.
And then that's what they served at the wedding. And then they had some available in the tasting room, and it had their names on it for whatever.
Was the wedding at the tasting room?
No, I don't know. I have no idea. Because, yeah, the tasting room is attached to the warehouse-type building that where their brewery is.
Okay.
So, and it's not, you know, a big place at all. And then the other thing that was cool was one of their food trucks guys, but he did a wood-fired grill, all right, and then he did wood-fired pizza, and then he also had really good burgers. He came and parked in their parking lot. So you can come into the tasting room and then go out and buy dinner and bring it in.
Oh, that's fun.
Yeah. Well, like even here at Three Sheeps, the one tasting room that we have in Sheboygan, you can bring food in. I mean, you can have pizza delivered there. You can bring your own food there. Sometimes they'll have an event and the food trucks park in the parking lot there.
Okay.
Tasting rooms have different rules and different atmospheres than like a bar would.
Okay.
And you can go and, I mean, there's long tables where you can play games. You can bring your own food in. People have parties there, you know, like let's just meet here, and then they'll have their party there. So and they have they don't ever have any alcohol. You know, like I can't order rum there.
Okay.
So you have to drink beer, and you can bring your animals. Like up at Three Sheeps, people bring their dogs all the time.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, that's different.
Yeah, and there were, you know, in some of the tasting rooms. But see, out in California, too, the rules about where you can take a dog and where you can't are by far different. The one restaurant we went and ate at, they had a beautiful patio outside in front. It's actually the sidewalk, but whatever, you know, and tables out front. And we ate outside because it's beautiful, 80 degrees. And people would come up and sit down and eat, and they bring their dogs. There were people walking dogs everywhere.
Okay.
Okay. Now, my dog's not well enough trained to do that. And I do not believe that people should take their dogs everywhere in public. Like, okay, one of my pet peeves is dogs at parades. Dumbest thing I ever heard of. Okay, but I'm opinionated, so. All right.
Yeah, yeah.
But I just, you know, I think that not everybody's a dog person. And if you're not a dog person, seeing other people bringing their dogs everywhere can be unnerving.
Yeah,
So.
and I'm allergic, so.
Yeah, okay, that was your...
Now we were interrupted again.
By
Phone
a
call
phone
came
call. Huh.
So Lexi will have to merge these two together.
Editing skills
Yeah.
and display. Lucky Lex.
Yeah.
All right.
Yep. I
So,
hope she gets a good.
well,
Okay.
enough of that foolishness.
Okay. What are you wearing?
I am wearing my Suburban. I finished my Suburban last June, but because it's heavy and, well, it's not really heavy. It's fingering weight, but it's warm. And I have just too hot to wear it.
It's beautiful colors.
And, yes, and so I love it with the
colors.
browns. This is just, and I only have it wrapped once, and it seems to be laying just fine. You know, it's not like I gotta pin it or tuck it underneath itself to get it's staying.
Okay.
So that's a good thing.
Okay.
So you have got on something new.
Yeah, I have a Mohair Cowl on. This is something that's like been in progress probably for 2 years. I had it just up front, half done, and showing off the yarn. This is Rowan Kid Silk Haze. And Mona took it home this week and finished it and then brought it back, and I just Kitchener stitched it together. And we just went one ball as long as it went. And it's like perfect length. You know, it just hits in the middle of your stomach. So you could double it if you wanted it tight up against your neck. But I don't want it that close because I'm kind of allergic. It's making my eye water already. So, yeah.
I think it's beautiful. It has this wonderful striping here. It's a very delicate striping, and that's really pretty. And I'm going to be using some of that, and it's nice to see how delicate that striping is, because I'm going to be using some of that Kid Silk Haze on a project. I'll tell you about that in a little bit.
Okay.
So, all right, what do we got? We have a bunch of new things here.
Yes.
We have some locally grown alpaca. And this looks like there's 2 different colors. I think these must be natural colors.
Yeah. Oh, all of theirs is natural. They don't dye anything.
Yeah, because
And
this would be the
those
colors
are
of the
beautiful.
alpaca. And so these are from Lime Ridge Alpacas, which is in Elkhart Lake, locally sourced. Beautiful, beautiful stuff.
And the names of the colors are the names of the alpacas.
Okay, now I got to read it. This is Prince, and this one is Duchess. It's a lovely, lovely brown and
these
black.
are really dark ones.
Yeah.
They're gorgeous.
Yeah.
Those are always the first to sell out when she brings those in, the dark ones.
Now, she does all the plying and the spinning?
No, she sends it to a local mill. I don't remember the name of it. It's up near Eau Claire.
Cool.
And she said one of her kids has like a school sports thing up there.
Okay.
So it's kind of convenient. They can,
Well, that's cool.
yeah.
Well, this
Double
stuff is
up on
beautiful,
track.
and it's alpaca, extremely warm, wonderfully soft. Oh, yeah. And then we have some brand new BlueDoxie. Okay, I'm going to show you the 2 colors here. This is the, it's called Vicky for a Victorian, and it's a variegated. These have lyrics in them, little sparkle. You can see this is green and gray and a little olive or a little mauve in there. And then this is the more traditional Christmas color called Holly. And it's got white on this end, and then the red and the green, and this has the lyrics in it. And then she also dyed the same colors on her plain sock base, which is really pretty. There's the Victorian one, and then here's the holly. Very pretty. I love these colors. And this Victorian one I'm really drawn to. And it's funny, because I would normally be drawn to this. And I thought, no, this is different.
Yeah.
It's pretty.
Really soft. This
Yes.
is a new base for her. She said this base she was importing from England.
Really?
Yeah.
Cool.
It's
All right, so now I'm going to have to see. Now you suckered me in.
good. I've done my job.
Well, I have something in mind that this might be really pretty on.
Yeah.
And when I was here Thursday night, I was looking at this.
I'm going to make socks out of this one. I know, to me, sometimes having the really nice yarn on your feet is a waste, but I love it. So these are going to be Christmas socks.
Okay. What do you got?
I have, from Frabjous Fibers and Wonderland Yarn, I have Cheshire Cat in 6 colors. These are really nice skeins. This one is Tranquilification. And these are 4-ounce skeins. So what's the yard? 512 yards.
Wow.
So you can make a nice size shawl out of only one.
Yeah, now this is a single. That one's a twist. So what's this one?
This one is Melancholy Maiden. Fingering weight, 412 yards, 4 ounces.
And it's called Dinah. And this one's Cheshire Cat.
Okay.
So the Cheshire Cat is a twist.
Yeah,
That has a
sock
twist.
fingering.
It's a sock weight
100%.
twisted.
Yeah, they're
and
both
this is a
100%.
single ply. This does not have much of a twist.
No, I didn't even notice that.
Yep.
Good eye.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, this is some more Dinah.
That's pretty. That is pretty.
412 yards. Sake of Simplicity. It's a gray, but there's just a little bit of a purple in there.
Yeah.
You see that? Just a tiny bit of purple. And this one, also Dinah, in 412 yards. The name is, what on this one? Dreamy Weather.
Yeah.
So sky blue with a little purple and gray in there. And then the purple is Daydream.
That one's got a little blue in it.
Yeah. I love these colors because you can still see patterning. You know, they're
Yes.
very close to solid, but a lot of depth to them because of the way they dye it.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what I got. 1 Cheshire Cat and 5 Dinahs. I thought they were all Cheshire Cat when I saw them up there. So, yeah, that's what I got.
Surprise,
And
surprise.
the other new thing we have in the shop, ta-ta-da, we're introducing sock tubes now. We're selling the sock yarn cranked into a long tube. It comes with instructions how to turn these tubes into socks. I can actually get 2 pair out of these because I like a shorter sock and I have a woman's size 8 foot, so not a real long foot. I mean, a man's sock, you'd probably only get 1 pair, or if you like them real high, you'd only get 1 pair. But you can get 2 pair. And like this Heritage Prince, if you have that cranked up, it's $22.99 for the sock tube.
Wow.
So you
That's a
can
good
get,
deal.
yeah, if you have to get some gifts done for Christmas, you can make a sock in a day because most of the knitting is done. You're just going to add your own heels, toes, and cuffs.
Throw it in
So-
an alternating color, be fun.
Yeah, yep. So I have that one here, and this one is another Heritage Prince. We have several other ones, like we have the Happy Feet Splash, which is a speckle. We have some opal. So you
Wow.
can stop in and see those. I hope to get those all up on the website today. So they'll be on the website for sale also. And I did an instructional video you'll find here on YouTube on how I did it. Not the best instructional video. I recorded it and it was on the tripod, the camera, but it points down at your hands. And that's really hard because you can't see what's in frame
True.
because it's on the tripod and pointing down. So I got most of it. Yeah, you'll see it. I got most of it in there. Only a couple of times I was out of frame.
Interesting.
But yeah, check out the tutorial and that'll help you figure out how to make some socks out of these tubes.
It's actually not a dumb idea.
Yeah.
You know, somebody else can do all the stockinette boring part of the socks, and toes and heels and cuffs are the easy part.
Yeah, and you can have fun picking out what color. I mean, these socks could look so different based on what color you pick.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you could have the yellow, the red, blue, green.
Yeah, just match it up to whatever color you want on the wall of Heritage sock, and away you go.
Yeah, yeah. So, yeah, those are new in the shop also. And I think that's all I have for new in the shop.
Okay, well, I have some things I want to share that are new that I came across. You know,
Okay.
I'm kind of like all about my knitting gadgets and books and what have you. And I ordered this. This is, I wonder if you can even see that. It looks backward on the camera. But this is Amy Herzog's Ultimate Sweater Book. And what this is a person who's a little bit more adventurous about knitting a sweater and doesn't need to have a specific pattern, but maybe a recipe. So in here there are some specific patterns, but it's all the recipe. Here's a basic, yoke construction pullover. Okay, well that's kind of nice because then you can take that and you can put pattern if you want, pattern stitches. You can put color work in it if you want. That's a possibility. She has different yarn weights, sport, worsted, and Aran. And it has different gauges, different needle sizes, and it's a great recipe book. You have the Ann Budd one.
Yeah.
And I have the Ann Budd one as well. And I thought, Amy Herzog, her claim to fame is making sweaters that fit.
Right.
And
All about the
so
fit.
that's why I was intrigued by this. So I've read bits and pieces of it. I found it a nice, it was just, okay, I read knitting books. I actually read them.
Yep.
Just because.
Yeah.
And this was a really nice book. Good read. And then, I must really be into sweaters lately. I don't know, maybe I'm shawled out. But then I just got this one. I opened it Thursday night and I read it cover to cover.
Wow.
Love it.
Yeah.
Strange Brew. What this is the tin can knits. We do a class on a tin can knit is it flax?
Flax.
Yeah.
Yep.
And this is color work. All of them, it's a recipe book that you can put all of these different colors. Like if you look at that picture, that's all different color work patterns. Okay, and that's what this book is all about, how to do that. There are some specific patterns in here, but there's also stitch designs in here, and you can mix and match however you feel the need. So again, it's kind of like a recipe book, but it has some straight up patterns. And I've just been into this color work thing lately, and I'm working on some. Why didn't I bring them along? Some color work mittens.
Oh, okay.
That are Day of the Dead themed. They're going to Ashley. It's Halloween, but she doesn't know that. So I'm working on those, and yeah, I've been into color work, and I'm getting kind of good at the two-handed. So if somebody asked me to throw, I could now. Oh, how weird.
Oh, amazing.
Yeah.
I've been seeing a lot about that strange brew. I see some people order the ebook. You can get the ebook on Ravelry.
Yeah.
And they print it out and take it to the Office Max or wherever, have it bound with the spiral. That's kind of fun too, because then you can open it flat.
Well, see, what I did is ordered the book, but I also have a Ravelry code. And what's nice about that, because I have the book and the Ravelry code, if I want to print out one page of my book, I'll print that rather than lug my book, and then I don't have to photocopy it.
That's what I do with the interpretations too. I have that. I have the book. So whatever sweater I'm working on, I print out and write all over, but I still have the book in good shape then.
Yeah, and I'm one of these people. There are lots of people in this world that can sticky note and highlighter up and put notes in the margin on their books. No, I'm not. I can't do that. To me, that's wrecking the book. So, can't do it. At any rate.
Yep.
So I wanted to share those because I found them both to be good reads and fascinating. And I think just the knowledge about how to do it, it just made sense to me. And I'm getting better at this color work thing. I mean, I've been doing it. I've been doing it for probably 30 years. No, Derek's not that old. Yeah, maybe close to 30 years. My first color work sweater was Mickey Mouse. I have it still. And I made it for Derek when he was about 4.
Okay.
And it's Mickey Mouse red on the chest. It's red,
very nice,
black and white. And I mean, I knit it out of an acrylic yarn, which is really weird. But anyways, that's maybe why it's holding up. So I don't know. But nonetheless, it's Mickey Mouse. So I've been doing color work, but that one I'm quite, there's some pulls and lumpiness to it, but I'm getting rid of some of that. But it's funny. So I mean, I've been doing color work for a long time, but never this way.
Okay.
So it's been kind of fun.
Okay.
So
What you got done these days?
nothing.
Nothing?
Well, yeah, I finished my pumpkins, all my little pumpkins, and the little ones were the cutest ones. But there's pictures on my Ravelry page if you want to see them. But they're in California right now, and Ashley loved them. So
Good.
that's what I finished. I've been working on a lot of stuff.
Okay. Well, I'll show my finished, then we'll see what you're working on. I finished in making those videos and instructions for the sock tube. I got a lot of socks in a lot of different places. So I got one completed pair. Oh, is that? Oh, that's not attached.
It's not attached.
Okay, I thought I had all the ends woven in. So I got this pair done. This was just a half a tube, and this is the size sock I got for a half a tube. It has the cut-in afterthought heel, which, is a regular heel when you got it like this. But if you turn it like this, the afterthought heel looks just like a toe. It's the same pattern as this toe.
Wow.
Yeah, they're identical.
I think I've done that.
Yeah.
I might have.
And I have, I use the way that's kind of like the Kirby Werby. There's absolutely no hole in the corner then.
Like that already.
Yeah, no holes. So I got a pair done. Oh, my other finished object is my quilt top.
Well, that's true.
I've
That's
got,
important.
this one has one sock done. And, well, I guess this is kind of getting into works in progress too, because this is the other one cut off. Sometimes I put needles in, sometimes I put waste yarn in when I cut them apart. You have to put something in those so they don't unravel. And then this is a half a skein, and I'm in the middle of cutting this one apart. I'm putting the needles in. I'm gonna put this color heel on that one.
Oh, fun. That'd be pretty.
Yeah.
What kind of yarn is this? I like the color.
Oh, it's really old, yucky stuff.
Well, it doesn't feel yucky.
Yeah, but I mean, it's not, I'm used to good yarn now.
Well,
so
I
I'm
know.
kind of a yarn snob.
You know what? I am too. I'm guilty as charged, and I don't
Yeah,
care.
yeah. So this was just old stash. I wanted to get used to cranking. I have another tube here. Liz dyed this yarn. No, this was a full-length tube. This was
Really?
all 100 grams. Liz dyed this with beets. This is the color beets turn.
No kidding.
Yeah, they're like pinkish purple when you're dyeing them, but then as they dry, they turn to this brown kind of color. They still have a little pink hint to them. You can see.
Well, I wonder what onion skin would dye up in.
Oh, yeah, that looks kind of like tea stained.
Really?
That's kind of cool, too. My grandma, you know, she was probably the first natural dyer I know. She used to dye all her Easter eggs in natural
Oh, my
things.
grandma did too.
Yeah, coffee
Yeah.
grounds, onion skins, beets, anything, you know. So she had a lot of neat things. Every year she tried to surprise us with what she made her Easter eggs with. So,
Could be some funky colored eggs.
yeah, yeah. That's what I have for FOs and partially works in progress. I have more works in progress, but we can look at yours first.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, why I did not finish the bottom, I don't know. I literally am on the last row.
Yeah,
And
you
I-
usually never stop
I mean, it's
mid-row.
like, really, why? I don't know.
What bind off are you doing? Tubular?
No, I'm just knitting a row with the
Oh,
white.
oh.
I'm just knitting a row with the white, and then
Okay.
I'm going to use the regular bind off.
Okay.
So it's like I stopped mid-row. I never do that. This is a little bit frosted, and it's a gradient
gorgeous.
group of snowflakes. So
Gorgeous.
I've got a dark purple, a medium purple, a pale purple, and then I did white. So
Gorgeous.
obviously this is for one of the grands. This one I think is Cora's. You know, and the funny thing is now as I look flat here, you can see there's a bump here and here. But that's where I did, I'm going to, floats is a fascinating thing with color work. How long do you do your floats? I have read and often used 5 as my rule of thumb. So when I came to a place where I had 7 stitches in my float, I thought, oh, I better catch it. And then I read Strange Brew. And in all of that color work, they said, no, we didn't catch them. As long as your tension maintains consistency, you don't need to catch these long floats, you know, that. Now, I'm sure if there were 30 stitches in between, that would be different. But then that's, you know, that's just weird.
Yeah.
But here, I had 7 stitches, and I can see the pucker, and this is where that longest float is. I am hoping that'll block out. But there's little puckers here, and there. Okay. I am probably the only human in this world that is ever going to see that and be nitpicky about it. But, and it's only in the white. That's because in the other colors here, the floats weren't as long.
Okay. And you know, I took a class with Susan B. Anderson at
Yeah.
Knit for Fun retreat with Ann Budd. And there she said too, she leaves her floats 10, 12 stitches if that's what's in the pattern. She leaves them. She does not pick them up. She doesn't catch them.
Well, see, and I am going to. So I have to do 3 of these. This is number 1. This pattern is called A Little Bit Frosted and is coming out later this month from, I'm testing this for Lisa Ross for Paper Daisy on Ravelry. And the pattern will be out. I said, oh, I want to do 3 of them. Because, yeah, there's 3 little people in my life that are important. So this is the first one, and this is the only one I have to have done soon for the test. The other 2 I just want for before Christmas. But then
Which
I'm
is
gonna,
coming quick.
Yeah, okay, don't remind me. But the other one is going to be purple with pinks gradiating.
Okay.
And it's this same dark purple, I think.
Okay.
And then the other one is going to be red, and it's going to start with dark browns radiating down.
Okay.
But that one, there's this part of me, I want the red and brown. So I'm thinking I might start with the white for the smallest snowflake and go to brown.
Yeah. I can see that.
So I don't know. That one I might have to play with a little bit. So at any rate, yeah, I've got these all lined up, ready to go. One done. So my goal today would be to get this bound off, which I'm quite certain I'll get that done, and then get the sleeves on the needle.
Okay.
So, and then my other one, I only have the bottom band, and this is another sweater test that I'm doing. I'm going to pull some yarn out so that I have a little play.
Is that Rios?
No.
Oh.
This is that mustache.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
okay,
That's
this-
what you were winding Thursday.
Yeah, I wound it Thursday, and I started it last night. It's just the bottom band. All right, this is sock arms. Sock arms, or it's little sock arms, and then there's an adult version of sock arms. This is by Stephanie Lotvin. I'm also testing this one, and this pattern will be out later this month as well. But this one is done in a worsted weight. I already knit this pattern for Cora in the sock weight. She also has it, and I have the yarn for it in the adult version, but I'm waiting to knit mine, but it will be done before ZK next summer because that's the rule. Bought the yarn there. So anyways, what's cool about this is a worsted weight version, and then these are the sleeves. It's a self-striping worsted weight yarn. And in here, these are Hogwarts house colors.
Oh,
and that's why
yeah.
this is, the yarn is called Hogwarts. And then what you did, so this is all dyed to match. Okay, I'm not going to tell you what I spent on this yarn. Let's not talk about that. Okay, but it was a good deal because I'm testing it. This is the red that's in here. And you could also, I could have ordered it, the blue, the green, the gray, whatever, to do, but the young man who this is for likes red. So I picked red. And it seems to me there's a lot of the yellow, but if I'm doing the red here, Gryffindor, well, the yellow here is in here. So I don't know how this is going to stripe up. I have not seen it knit up because this is, the other thing about this is that this is a brand new yarn. The mustache is just starting with the self-striping like this in worsted weight. They're just coming, it's not even introduced. It's not even on their website. It's, and they only did this for this test. There are very few self-striping worsted weight yarns out there.
Yeah, I can believe that.
Yeah, but what you could do, talk about the creativity. If you want to do the solid body of your sweater and then do something striped on your arms, you don't have to do a self-striping yarn. You could stripe it yourself. Get a whole bunch of different skeins of whatever yarn you're using, solids if you want. Or let's say you have a set of worsted weight minis. Just use your minis. Use your minis. And that would be kind of fun. And just, and then randomly, I'll knit this color for an inch and then I'll knit the next color for 3 inches and whatever, vary it up. It's kind of easy, and there's no ends to weave in when you're doing it this way. True, but the concept is fun. And the pattern will work for that. The girl version of this sweater has a longer hem in the back, so it's got some short row shaping in there to make the hem curved and that stuff. For a boy, this is a boy color in my mind. I am making it more boy-like. And the girl neckline seems to be a little more open. Well, I'm going to cinch it up more crew neck for a boy.
Sure.
Little things like that, straight hem. But it is considered to be a unisex pattern. So, all right, so that's what I have on my needles. Yep, that's all I brought along today. But I do have mittens, those colorwork mittens that are on the needles too. So
okay. Besides all the socks, I brought along my.
I have not seen this in a while.
My granny square blanket. Well, it's been where is it? Oh, here's my marker. It's been this long since I brought it to the podcast.
Oh
So,
my gosh.
Yeah, this was my magic cake. So I have a whole magic cake in here now.
Wow.
And now I'm just on my scraps from different socks I made.
I'm going to have to get my yarns out for our magic cake
Yeah.
making next week.
Right. We're going to make magic cakes at our knit-in next weekend. This yellow yarn that I'm doing right now, that's more that Liz dyed naturally. This is turmeric.
Wow.
The spiced turmeric. She dyed with that. That's her favorite thing to dye. She doesn't dye much, just a little she did.
That's kind of fun, though.
Yeah, so this is my magic cake blanket. It'll end up to one of the kids. It's not real wide. And I decided my next one of these, I'm going to do double-stranded. I'm going to carry a white along with it. I got a cones of ready to dye.
Oh, yeah, I saw those Thursday.
Yeah, I have those cones, so I'm going to use the cone and go along with the magic cake. And then I'll be able to use a bigger hook and be done faster. And yeah.
Okay.
This one, it's going to take a while, probably a year before it's done. And then I brought
I haven't seen this for a while either.
Yeah, I brought this. This is my Glacier Tunic. The last time I had it here, I didn't have the sleeves yet. So now it's got sleeves. And I'm split at the bottom right now. I'm making the side triangles over here. So,
Oh, that's an interesting construction.
yeah, you make the deep V and go until you're like 25 inches long on the deep V down the center. And then you make each side the triangles over here. So,
Wow.
yeah. So this one's kind of on hold, and this side I'm doing.
That's fascinating.
And that's 3 different yarns from Black Cat Fibers. And the ridges stopped soon after you split. See the little ridges on the top half, but they're not at the bottom half. Those stopped right after you split for the arms.
Wow.
So, yeah.
So you've got your decreases all marked on here too.
Oh, yeah, I marked all my decreases on my sleeves. Then I make sure I make 2 sleeves that are the same.
Why don't you just knit them 2 at a time?
I don't like doing that. I know a lot of, you do socks 2 at a time too, and I don't like doing that either.
They always match.
Yeah. So, yeah, I have that dream cloud, but I showed that enough times. We don't need to show that again. Hopefully next time it'll be a finished object. So that's what I'm knitting on.
Wow. We're both pretty busy.
Yeah, yeah.
All right. Knit-alongs.
Knit-alongs.
I'm still plugging away on my Knit Purl Hunter poncho.
Okay.
And my Barn Red.
Okay.
That one, you know what? It's okay. I'm letting that one take a while.
Okay. It's huge. That's a huge poncho.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I saw Levon's and Dawn's here on Thursday night. They're gorgeous.
Yeah.
Yeah, but no, mine's taking a while, and that's okay. I it's kind of like shiny objects, I notice, ooh, here's something cool. That's what happens with these tests, And it's okay. I enjoy doing this, and it challenges me in a different way as a knitter, so
Right.
I like that, and I feel good about it. So.
Okay, good.
But, so I'm working on that. Knit Vent patterns dropped. For those of you who don't know, Knit Vent is something that's done by Helen Stewart, Curious Handmade. I've done many of her shawls. I love the way she writes a pattern. But every year, this time of year, she has what's called Knit Vent. And it is a series of 5 or 6 patterns, all intended to be like gift-giving, holiday knitting. Nothing extremely challenging, but always very pretty. So the first pattern that dropped was a wrap, but it's really long, and it calls for 24 mini skeins knit alongside a piece of, so you're holding mohair, just like this kind of mohair, alongside with a fingering weight yarn, and it has scallops in it, or no, arrow things in it, garter ridges, a lot of texture, but it's really, really pretty. So that was the first pattern that dropped. I have not cast on. I intend to, but I'm gonna finish my sweaters first. And then the second one comes out on Thursday this week.
Okay.
And that one is a 1 skein of fingering weight. She gave the yarn hits out already, and some beads. And I'm thinking it's a shawl.
Okay.
Because I've done this the last several years, and every year there's a shawl.
Okay.
And some of them, like in November, the patterns that come out first are the longer projects. But then there are short ones that come. She's done a DK white sock last year, some mittens that matched that sock. Last year there was a hat and mitten set that came out. And then another year there was a headband. You know, all short, quick projects that you could do in a week easily as gift giving.
Sure.
So that's what I think. But I don't know. I'm looking at this. I do not have a lot of singles in my stash. And the yarn she suggested was a single ply.
Oh, okay.
And I usually knit with a higher twist. But I kind of want to knit with a single ply once.
Yeah. It's soft and squishy if you're
Yeah.
going for something soft and squishy.
Well, and I'm thinking this is a shawl, and the pattern will be out Thursday, and I'm thinking that, you know, this might have to fall in my cart today.
Okay.
Well, I got to get my mohair for the other one, too.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. I like this. But then I like the blue. I don't know. That'll be a decision.
Okay.
Okay, and then November
Okay.
knit along.
The November knit along is going to be for charity. I'll open a Ravelry thread today, and anything you make for charity during the month of November, if you're making chemo caps or mittens for a mitten tree or anything for charity, then enter it in the Ravelry group and we will give away prizes. Oh, I forgot to draw the other prize.
Oh, for the KAL.
Yeah, KAL. We'll announce the winner next podcast for that one. But yeah, I'll open the thread today for the November one. Anything charity, you can enter in there. And then December.
No new cast-ons. Yeah, that's a challenging one. Okay, so here's my strategy. No new cast-ons for December. It's going to be finish up whatever you got languishing there.
Right.
Okay?
Yep.
No new cast-ons. Well, that does not mean you cannot cast something new on. It just means it won't qualify for the knit-along. Okay, let's be clear there. Because there are some new cast-ons that I always do in December. Laura Ayler, who always has a project coming out, and I did see something on Ravelry that she's doing it this year. And it's kind of like a 12 days of Christmas kind of thing. It's 12 portions of a mystery. And the cowl I knit from that last year, it's like one of my favorite cowls. It's that red and white one. I think I used Kenzie to do it.
Oh, okay.
And I love Kenzie as a yarn. And this is just wonderful, thick, squishy cowl. So I'm going to do that. But nonetheless, that will be a knit-along for December. But the no new cast-on, so it's like the sweaters that you have started in November, finish them in December. And the socks you started in November, or actually last December, will qualify. Yeah, they're sitting there. My Christmas Eve, it was a Christmas Eve cast on. It was fun. I loved it. I love the pattern. I got green yarn, Christmas green with speckles in it. No, sparkles. Lurex is in it. And they're sitting there. Thinking of all these things that are languishing for no new cast-ons that I'm going to finish in December.
But
So,
but
that'll
if
be
you
cool.
cast on the Laura Ayler, then you're disqualified for December.
No.
Yes.
I can't put the things that, oh, no, I'm screwed.
No, you cast anything on in December, you're completely disqualified. Yeah,
That's
you can't
Dinah.
win.
I can't. Oh, well.
So, events coming up. December 1st is the Sheboygan Falls Parade, and there's always a whole festival around the town. And we always do a craft with kids here. So we are going to make Christmas ornaments with kids.
Oh, fun.
So if you're in town, stop by on December 1st. I think from 10 till 2, we're making the crafts with the kids. So stop in during that time, and you
That
can,
sounds fun.
yeah, make a Christmas ornament. We usually get somewhere between 150 and 200 kids in here that day. That's a lot of kids we turn around. Yeah, very often there's, a couple-minute wait to get to the craft table, but yeah, not more than a couple minutes.
Well, that sounds fun.
Yeah.
And then, of course, the special events. We all know Black Friday's coming faster than we think. And in the newsletter, there will be coupons this year. And so for Black Friday specials, watch the newsletter, clip the coupons, and, bring them in. I don't even accept them electronically. I'll put it on my phone.
Yeah.
Okay, but the point here is the specials for Black Friday and Shop Small Saturday will be in your newsletter.
Right.
So,
Okay, so if you're not signed up for the newsletter, call and sign yourself up.
yeah, definitely.
Okay. And then in January is retreat. That's
Yay!
not that far away anymore.
No.
I mean, my list for next week of my to-dos is put the class list out. So it's time next week to put the class list out for the retreat. It's nearly full. There's just a couple spots left. So
I'm looking forward to that.
yeah, it's going to be a good time. So that's the last thing on my list is the
Well, and I have to do one thing.
What's that?
I have to give a shout out because I had a student come up to me at school this week
Uh-huh.
and said, oh, I saw you on your podcast.
Uh-huh.
And I'm going, oh my gosh.
Uh-huh.
I don't mind all my knitting friends in my knitting world watching this podcast, but it was just really creepy and weird having a student come up to me. Well, okay, wait a minute. The students are knitters. They have a wonderful mom who is a wonderful knitter. Okay?
Oh,
so the
okay.
kids, you know, they're knitters and they watch the knitting podcast, and I'm thinking that they're probably watching this podcast together.
Okay.
So, to Natalie and Jocelyn, hello!
Ah.
They said, they told me, Natalie came up to me and she said, you know, we commented. So
I
now
saw
gotta
a comment. It said, "Hi, Miss Schultz."
That was so cool.
Yeah,
Cool.
yeah.
But yeah, so I had to give a shout out to my two students. I had Jocelyn a couple of years ago, and she's just a great kid, and her little sister who's now in 5th grade as well. So I had to say hi.
Oh, neat.
Yeah,
That's really
I thought
neat.
that was.
Okay.
So
Well, thank you everybody for watching. If the show notes will be on YouTube. We'll have the knit-alongs all on the Ravelry group. So just go to Magpies Cottage Ravelry group to see those. Anything we mention the website, that's at www.magpiescottage.com. I'm Joanne Kiley on Ravelry.
amyschulze.
We're real original. Our names
Yeah,
are
duh.
our Ravelry IDs. So we should be easy to find.
I would rather people be able to find me than
Yeah.
not know who I am.
Right.
So.
So thank you for watching.
All right, happy Saturday. See ya.
Bye-bye.